Alpha opened in 2008 at the end of the year, just before Christmas. I was going to call the shop Wire Wheels at first because that was like one of my names on a forum. But I thought, no, I'll call it Alpha because A's at the beginning of the alphabet and it'll come up first on the searches. And my name's Al and I'm here for BMX, so it's Alpha BMX. But, you know, it's a Stoke dialect thing as well. You know, you don't say I'm going to the shop for a can of pop. It's I'm going shop for a can of pop. So Alpha BMX, Alpha. Has the penny dropped? I decided to open a BMX shop in Stoke-on-Trent because Stoke-on-Trent needed a BMX shop. A lot of the bike shops in Stoke were just no use at all for getting BMX parts. I'd had a little bit of a bout with my illness and I'd needed to get fit again, so it's like, right, get the bike out. And I was up the Stoke Plaza and there's loads of kids about on BMXs and, you know, they were like, well, there's nowhere I get the parts from, and I was asking him, and I'd been round trying to get various parts after buying a new frame and couldn't get stuff, so it was easy making the decision. It was like, you know, I was looking for something to do and a business to start, and it was just like so easy. Well, the year before I opened the shop, I was getting over an illness and just trying to get myself fit again and getting out of a really grim time I was having, so the less said about that the better, really. But you know, Alpha's been really good to me as far, you know, since I've opened the shop. Before anybody else thought of doing a skate park in Stoke, I thought of doing one, and I got a petition going because at that time you're talking 94, 95 when I first did the petition and that. We were sort of having travel to like Wakefield and Yorkshire and, you know, Northampton, you know, really places far away to get a decent place to ride the BMX. And so we thought, you know, if we badger the council, do this and that. But what the plan went wrong because I hadn't anticipated how much money it costs to get one of these things off the ground. And therefore I quit my job in '96 at Michelin. I had a really good job and I quit that expecting to get a ton of money, sort of severance pay. I got 600 quid so that lasted me about a month, and then I was skint, so I had no money to do anything. So we did this petition and basically I handed all the signatures I'd collected over to a couple of my mates who were skateboarders. They just kept doing skate events, which I helped them with. And sometimes they'd take me back, but mainly it was just I was giving it the mouth on the MC job, you know, which was good. They were good times, you know. And the council got involved with them, and one thing happened, and you know, the plaza became an entity. And it was probably 2 or 3 years after the plaza opened that I sort of said, you know, right, let's do the shop. And here we are. And the plaza's great for the shop. And the shop's great for the plaza, you know, one complements the other. My lifestyle's definitely better now because obviously I own my own business. I'm happier. I'm not a dog's body to the boss. We have a lot of laughs in here because it's mainly, you know, the customers are younger, you know, characters, mavericks, whatever you want to call them. There's some loonies come in this place. I mean, the place is run by one as well, really. And some of the staff are a bit crazy too, you know. But it's all good for the scene, you know. We're all happy with our roles within Alpha, you know. I mean, I don't ride my bike so much now because of my health, you know, but that's another story. And as far as improvements to my life since opening the shop, I'm a little bit better off, maybe financially. I'm not sure how much. The accountant will answer you that. But yeah, we have a lot of fun in here, you know. My life's a lot happier. We have some laughs. It gets stressful because sometimes in the day you're non-stop. You're absolutely non-stop. But when I see the kids all up riding the bikes up the plaza, they're all happy. That makes me happy, you know. They are staying out of trouble. They're all together, having a good time together. Perfect. The staff in Alpha are all young local BMX riders, and the reason for that is because they know what we're selling. You know, they've got product knowledge, same as I have. They know all the local riders. You know, it's all a big family. It would be silly to me to have people working in a shop that's a very specialist area who aren't, you know, completely and utterly dedicated to what they're doing as much as I am, you know. Opening the BMX shop, it's ensured that all the kids in Stoke who want to ride BMX are getting the best products and they're getting the best service, you know. Keeping the kids going, keeping them on the bikes, you know, that's what drives me to get up in the morning, you know, because I know if the kids stay interested in the bikes, they're not going to get into crazy stuff like alcohol, drugs, all that caper, which I'll hold my hands up, I've had problems with that in the past, and that's driven me to sort of say, right, we can get these kids on the right track rather than the track I've been on. It's better for them, you know, and it's a good place for them to come down and get the bikes fixed. It's all good. I haven't found it hard for the business to grow because of the commitment I put in, and obviously the kids see that and the parents see that, so they keep sending them here. You know, other hobbies can, you know, take kids away from one or the other, you know, which is you've got to roll with it at the end of the day. You've just got to keep going and do your best to keep the door open, you know, and that's all I can do, you know, is just try and keep kids coming through the door to get the bike fixed, you know, and that keeps us going. That's how we roll.